Hey there, I'm Joe Carter. If you've ever popped the hood and thought, where do I even start? You're in good company. Around here, we take the mystery out of car repair, one fix at a time. Whether you're a beginner or just looking to sharpen your skills, there's something here for you. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe if you're into learning without the headaches. All right, that's enough from me. Let's get into it.
In our catalog we try to put chains of updates, indicating the substitutability of firmware versions. And on the page of certain firmware you can find a corresponding bar about updates, see screenshot. But the question arises, is it necessary to perform an update by recording tuning based on a more recent version? Let us repeat, it is absolutely not obligatory. We sincerely try to have the latest firmware version calibrated and added to the catalog. Thus, we give our users the opportunity to buy only it, without buying older versions. With this trick we have won the favor of many craftsmen who work with us on a regular basis. But if you ask our opinion, we personally do not favor changing the firmware version up or down. We believe that unless absolutely necessary, there is absolutely no need to update or downgrade the factory firmware version. And here's why that's the case. 1. Factory updates often bring changes that may not be to the owner's liking, subjectively. Increased or decreased idle speed, changed driving characteristics, lost some indication on the dashboard, yes, it happens, all. This can cause questions from the owner of the car. Sometimes after updates the consumption increases, sometimes the car simply drives worse. Do you remember about Dieselgate? Of course, the opposite can happen, but it is not always possible to find information about the changes implemented by the factory in the update in advance. 2. The factory does not always eliminate defects in its updates. And if they do, they are rarely critical. If some specific software is really problematic, this problem is usually widely publicized, numerous mentions on forums, and there are mass recall campaigns on this problem. Consequently, it is hard to encounter such software, especially if the car is not new. In simple words, really defective factory firmware with serious defects is extremely rare. 3. Not every bootloader and not every writing method can perform a software version change. It all depends on the used equipment. But there is a general rule that updates should be performed only by diagnostic methods via OBD2, and various BSL, BSM, all sorts of 71 EPCM modules, etc. are not always suitable for recording updates. Also take into account that not every device, in principle, will be able to record an update. We are not talking about Chinese cases and broken galettes, but we are also talking about original equipment. Before recording the factory update should be sure to study the question, whether your equipment, and the way you used to work with the ECU memory, will be able to record the update. 4. The process of performing a software version change has a share of unpredictability. There are known cases of how after writing an update or downgrade coding, IMO synchronization, injector codes, etc. flew off. The least risky way of chip tuning is to rewrite separately only the calibration area, if the loader and control unit allow it, based on the same software version. 5. Why do what the client did not ask for? The master's priorities, in our understanding, are to flash the car and earn money, having received a minimum of questions from the car owner. If the task was only to increase power and or make -€2, why do other amateur work? In short, we believe that upgrading, or downgrading, is possible, but not necessary. And this is our opinion based on many years of experience. However, a number of masters purposefully record updates or downgrades. Someone considers this approach correct, someone thinks that it will be better for the owner of the car, and someone just tries to save money by not buying the firmware for the version he needs. These masters can be understood. The main thing is that these masters themselves understand the pros and cons and nuances of increasing, or decreasing, the factory firmware version. This is what this article was written about. In conclusion, while updating factory firmware may seem like a necessary step for optimal device performance, it is not always required. and can sometimes lead to unintended issues. It's essential to weigh the potential risks against the benefits before making any updates. For those who prefer to avoid complications, sticking with the original firmware may be the best choice. Always consider your specific needs and do thorough research before proceeding with any updates. Thank you for watching, and we hope this information helps you make informed decisions about your devices.